Undoubtedly, one of the most hyped Super Famicom role-playing games that never reached North American shores was Star Ocean. Created by Tri-Ace and published by Enix in 1996, the game has won a great deal of acclaim and has spawned a series of popular sequels. The team that created the game still exists to this day and continues to make games. Published at the very tail end of the Super Famicom's run, Star Ocean features some of the best graphics of any game on the platform, and utilizes the SDD1 chip to aid in the compression of graphics. The sprite actions in battle are especially impressive. The game was fairly successful in Japan, selling about 235,000 copies. Due to poor sales though, in North America, Enix stopped publishing all games for the Super Nintendo by the end of 1995. Star Ocean did receive an unofficial fan translation patch in 2003, however. The translation was highly anticipated and allowed a new group of enthusiasts to experience the game for the first time. Those that have played Tales of Phantasia may recognize a lot of similarities between that game and Star Ocean. This is for good reason. Most of the development team that worked on Tales of Phantasia, Wolf Team, left Namco in 1994, citing creative disputes between the developers and publisher. The development team founded Tri-Ace in 1995 and began work on Star Ocean shortly thereafter, and the rest is history. The story begins with Radix, Dorn, and Millie, a group of Felpool creatures with tails on the undeveloped planet of Roke. Soon, a disease is turning all inhabitants in a neighboring town to stone. Dorn and Millie's father contract the disease while searching for a cure. As Radix, Dorn, and Millie search for a remedy as well, two members of the Earth Federation, Renixis and Iria, suddenly appear. They inform the team that the disease was sent from a foreign power that the Earth Federation is at war with. Dorn eventually turns to stone. It is determined that the only vaccine for the disease is with its original source, a demon that was killed 300 years in the past. Renixis and Iria venture to a time gate, sending the group 300 years into the past on planet Roke in hopes of finding a cure. Perhaps the most fun part of Star Ocean is the battle system. Instead of a turn-based game, battles in Star Ocean are more action-oriented. Each character can either perform special attacks or magic. Characters with special attacks can assign abilities to the L and R buttons, and the special attack execution is different depending on the character's distance from a targeted enemy. The special attack system truly adds a unique dimension that isn't present in most RPGs. The relative power of the special attacks varies greatly. Some seem extremely slow and nearly useless, while others seem incredibly powerful. For instance, Marvel's Hail Orb can be spammed repeatedly and destroys almost everything. You can also set battlefield formations to alter the aggressiveness of your party, which adds a bit of customization to help in some circumstances. Unfortunately, the AI for the characters you aren't controlling isn't the greatest, and sometimes it causes them to behave erratically. This is actually one of my only criticisms about the game. Also, the main storyline of the game is fairly easy. Some bosses will give you trouble, but most of them can be beaten by the same attacks over and over again until dead. Another qualm I have with the game is that it's plainly too short. A typical blind playthrough of the game lasts only about 20 hours. However, the game does offer a lot of bonus material, such as an incredibly challenging multi-level bonus dungeon that adds significant replay value. Also, characters can level all the way up to 255. Another of the game's interesting features is the skills system. After leveling up, characters receive a certain number of skill points that can be allocated to various skills, which allow them to become more powerful in battle or more proficient at item creation, among other things. This is another fun facet of the game that separates it from other RPGs and provides an incentive to the player to level their skills up to max. In towns, the party can split up separately to reveal special dialogue in sequences known as private actions. This opens up some additional storyline segments and special items. I don't find this facet of the game terribly exciting, but it is definitely unique. Another unique aspect of the game is the item creation system, which allows the player to create weapons, armor, and other items from base materials. Far from being inconsequential, some of the most powerful weapons and armor in the game are unlocked via the item creation system. The soundtrack is quite good, but some of the tracks can get pretty repetitive over the course of the game. The score is fitting, but it isn't nearly as diverse as something like Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger. The voice acting in battle sequences is completely unique, and adds a lot to the battle experience. Direction can be odd in the game. Instead of an overworld map, you venture through open areas much like you would through towns, but there are random battles in these places as well. This can make it tough to remember your way or to navigate. The game was remade in 2008 on the PlayStation Portable and dubbed Star Ocean: The First Departure. The remake included several changes, including new content and a new world map instead of utilizing the series of passageways from city to city. The game looks and plays almost exactly like Star Ocean: The Second Story, which changes the battles quite a bit from the 2D counterparts in Star Ocean for the Super Famicom. Overall, Star Ocean is one of my favorite RPGs on the Super Famicom. It doesn't possess a story as good as Final Fantasy VI or a soundtrack as good as Chrono Trigger, but it certainly is worth playing if you like the genre. The bonus dungeon, item creation, battle system, and different possible character combinations makes the game extremely fun to play and gives the game some replay value that can't be found in other RPGs. And that concludes my retrospective and review on Star Ocean for the Super Famicom. Please, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video below, and keep posted for my other videos.